The sand whirlpool. As the sun climbed higher, the distance between Asur's head and the shade cast by his father's old boat steadily shrank. When the sun reached the height of a spear, the boat's shadow had all but withdrawn into itself. Asur's head began to heat up, partly from the dark beach sand beneath him, partly from the sunlight beating down on him. Meanwhile, the wind that had begun blowing in the early morning hours had grown much stronger. It swept up anything that was not firmly rooted to the ground, yet it wasn't strong enough to cool the air, let alone shield Asur from the scorching sun. When the wind-driven sand began striking harshly against the veil covering his face, Asur grew uncomfortable and opened his eyes slightly. As he slowly rose to his feet, he muttered, "So this really is as restful as they say." He glanced at his boat and checked to make sure everything was in its place. Whether from the sun's glare or the sand that had worked its way into his eyes, they were watering badly. The wind, now picking up speed, was turning everything into a cloud of dust. Blast it! Where did this storm come from? He grumbled. As he lowered his head to shield his face from the dust, he noticed the surroundings suddenly growing darker. Forcing his eyes open, he looked toward the sun, now swallowed by the billowing dust cloud. It was as if the sun had vanished entirely. As twilight settled over the area, the sand beneath his feet began to shift. Just a short distance away, the sand was being drawn toward a sunken point. A moment later, the sand took the shape of a large spiraling whirlpool and began rushing toward the pit at increasing speed. The sand whirlpool, whose cause he could not fathom, was growing larger by the moment. The widening hole continued to pull in the surrounding black sands, seashells, and starfish without pause.